Now, here's the problem. We try to be nice to people because we expect reciprocation. That is to say, we're going to be nice to you, so you will be nice to me. Now, what we're talking about are people with autism. And one of the flaws we seem to exhibit is this misunderstanding of niceness. So we want to be nice, and I like to be nice, and I think that most of the time I am. Nothing wrong with that, but sometimes it gets us into some trouble. So I wrote down my thoughts on when it is inappropriate or harmful to be nice. I mean, to be too nice. And sometimes we are just too nice. So don't be so nice. We're not saying don't be nice, but don't be nice in such a way that it doesn't work right. For example, number one is we like others for that reciprocation. We like others so they will like us. Now, here's why that is a problem. There's a thing called theory of mind, and it goes something like this. We expect people to think the way that we think, and other people don't think the way that we think. So if we think that I am being nice to you, you will be nice to me, and you don't think that way, I'm not going to get the expected response. So how is it that people think? We need to think the way they think, or at least we need to know what they're thinking, right? And the way a lot of people think is this. If you are overly nice, it means that you are weak. And so when we're nice to these people, expecting reciprocation, what we get in return is not reciprocation. We get people who bully us because they look at us as easy targets because they're thinking we're weak. Now, I'm not saying don't be nice, but I'm saying we need to moderate our niceness in such a way that it's understood correctly. And a lot of times people will misinterpret our niceness as being gullibility. Being gullible. Now you notice that most people, at least people I encounter, aren't nice. Why not? I mean, they know how to be. We see them when they are, but to us, not necessarily. And the reason is because they see niceness as a weakness and they don't want to come across as weak. And they see niceness as being gullible and they don't want to come across as being gullible because they don't want people to take advantage of them. But theory of mind, that's the way they think, so that's the way they think that we think. So they just assume that our niceness, again, is gullibility or that our niceness is weakness. And that is just a flat out invitation to be taken advantage of. So number one, we're nice to make other people like us, and that's not a good reason, or that's not a sufficient reason, I should say, to be nice. And yeah, we do need to be nice, but not in that sense. Number two, my second thought, is a lot of times people with autism like to be nice just to avoid conflicts. So if I'm not nice to this person, and some people you don't want to be nice to, if I'm not nice to this person, there will be conflict. They won't like me, they will attack me, so I want to signal to them. I want to give them this signal of virtue. That I am a virtuous person, that I am not contentious, that I'm not a fighter, so let's don't fight. Is this my way of saying to the other person, no, we're not going to have a fight. Now, what they see, often, not always, but what many other people see is you are signaling not virtue, but you are signaling submission. They see you as telling this person, you're in charge, I'm not. And then we wonder why people boss us around. It's because we told them to, by being nice to them. And this is the problem, with people with autism and people with Asperger syndrome. We really don't understand theory of mind. We don't understand how this thing works. And it's really frustrating. I got to tell you, I got to stop and think about it. It just doesn't come natural. But when we try to avoid conflicts just by being nice, sometimes the exact opposite happens. Sometimes you have to be not nice to signal to the other person that you're not going to mess with me. Does that make sense? No, not to me it doesn't. But you have to stop and think about it and let it sink in. Then, okay, now I think it's starting to make sense, particularly when you observe other people. My third thought is when we are nice to people, we're signaling agreeableness. We're saying, oh, I agree with you. And again, this is kind of like number 2, to avoid conflict. So it's just saying the same thing backwards. So I'm not signaling that I want to avoid the conflict, but I'm signaling that I want to agree with you. And so we agree with whatever the person says. Now, sometimes that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? But when you signal that you agree with everything another person says or believes, what if he says something wrong? Or what if he believes something that's stupid? Or what if he believes something that is irrational? What we're doing is we are agreeing with something that is wrong, stupid, or irrational. We don't want to do that. So what we are doing is we are signaling, maybe not to the person to whom we're speaking or to whom we're signaling, but we're signaling to everyone else that we're just as stupid, just as irrational, just as illogical, just as off base, off center as this guy is, because we just seem to agree with him on everything. It's okay to disagree with people. Yeah, it really is. Now, I personally don't like to argue with people. Typically, if somebody is argumentative, I just don't say anything. I just let them go ahead and speak their piece and speak their mind. And I don't answer in any way, in any form, until I get on Facebook, and then I may let them have it. But, that thing where people will say something so they will elicit a response so they can argue with it. And I understand that. So I don't give them a response. So they don't have anything to argue with. So I avoid the conflict by saying absolutely positively nothing. Or I change the subject. And that can be a little bit annoying, but, my role in life is not to make everybody happy. I wish I could. I wish I could make everybody like me and love me, and I try my very best with being nice to everybody. It doesn't have that result. Rather, what it does sometimes is it signals that I'm just as off base as this other guy is. So don't agree with them. If they're wrong, they're wrong. Don't agree with them. That's not being nice. Well, I guess it's displaying niceness, but it's not being nice. It's just being unwise. My 4th thought is this. By the way, I've got 6 thoughts here. My 4th thought is being nice is not always being fair, because some people deserve to be treated not nice. Okay, I can give you a real simple example. You probably already thought of this. Somebody commits murder. It happens all the time. Just Google it. Murder, it happens every day. Thousands of times. I think it's like there's some 20-some thousand homicides just in the United States every year. Other countries, it's worse. So what are we going to do with these people? These psychopaths, these people who are inconsiderate of even the lives of other people. Let's be nice to them. Why? What about the people they murdered? What about the families of those people they murdered? And I know this is an extreme example, but I think it's a good example. So being nice sometimes just isn't, well, it's not justice. It just isn't justice. It's not fair. Being nice to a murder convict is not being nice to the victim or the family of the victim. So what we're saying here is sometimes you have to be unnice, okay, unkind. You have to be unnice to be nice. To be nice to the victim, to be considerate of the family of the victim, to be considerate of those they hurt. You have to be unkind to the person who committed the wrongful act. You just can't be nice all the time. So I'm going to be nice all the time, and it's going to please everybody. It's going to make everybody nice right back. That's just not possible. I mean, it's literally impossible. So to be nice to one person is to be not nice to someone else. Now, maybe you can think of a better illustration, a better example. And I'm sure there are lots of them, but I think you get the idea. Be selective with your niceness. Does this person deserve your consideration? Number 5, The way that I phrased this in my notes was take care to take care. In other words, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of other people, right? Have you ever been on an airline and you see these instructions? They say that if there's a tragedy in the air, you need to take care of yourself first. First thing you do is you put on your oxygen mask, and then you can help your child or someone else put on theirs. Because you can't help them if you are not first helping yourself. And the same thing comes with being nice. First of all, you need to be nice and considerate to yourself. I know some people who are so nice, as the saying goes, they give you the shirt off their back. You can only do this so many times. I don't know about you, but I only have so many shirts. I can't give everybody a shirt. Okay, that's never going to happen, I know, but you get the point, right? You can be so kind to people that you give away your kindness. You can just give away all your money, right? But then you're not going to have any money to give away. So you got to take care of yourself first. So take care to take care. Take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And so you don't always have to give the other person a seat on the bus if you're in pain. I mean, if you got a broken leg, probably not a good idea to get up and give someone else a seat on the bus because you're going to hurt yourself even worse. You know, I just don't feel like I'm coming up with really good examples, but I think I'm getting the point across. So take care to take care. Take care of yourself so you can take care of others. And when you don't take care of yourself so that you can take care of others, then you're not going to be able to take care of others because you're not going to be in a position where you can. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Number 6 is this. My 6th thought is be free to disagree. Kind of touched on that just a moment ago. But when you disagree with somebody, what's their response? Say, I want to agree with everybody because I want them to like me. You know, we talked about that a moment ago. But when you disagree with somebody, what's their response? Do they agree with you? Do they say, oh, I want you to like me, so I'm going to disagree or I'm going to agree with you? Do they do that? No. So why would you do it for them? Why are you agreeing with somebody just so they would like you? Because they're not going to agree with you, so you will like them. They don't care if you like them or not. Some of them, they don't want you to like them. They don't even like you to begin with. I know some people, they argue just to argue. Doesn't matter what you say, they will say something to stir up a debate. It's the way people are. So the person you are being kind to, if that person is not a kind person, there's not going to be any reciprocation anyhow. But we need to understand that just agreeing with people, and I'm kind of tracking something we said earlier, when we agree with people just to be agreeable, we are agreeing with some things that are just flat out wrong. I don't want to be wrong. You know, don't be so nice that you are wrong. Don't be so nice that you are inconsiderate of others. There's a lot of reasons where we should not be nice. But I think the primary reason goes all the way back to where we started this video. And that is we try to be nice to get people to like us, and we're signaling that we don't want to have a confrontation. In reality, what we're signaling is, number 1, we're weak, and number 2, we're gullible. You don't want to signal that to anybody, I don't think, ever. Maybe to a police officer when he pulls you over and you know you've been doing 50 miles an hour over the speed limit. Not that you would do that. Then you might want to be overly nice, but those are very rare, extreme examples. But this is why I like people who are autistic, personally, is they do tend to be nice people. I know there are some exceptions. There are some people with Asperger syndrome, and it's like they're in a perpetual meltdown. They just mad all the time. That's why autism has a bad reputation. You know, they call it spurging out. First time I heard that term, I didn't make the connection. I thought, what does that mean? Oh, yeah, Asperger syndrome. But by and large, the reason I like to hang out with people with autism is they tend to be generally honest and nice people. So I'm okay with that. But wouldn't it be nice if everyone else saw people with autism the same way. Well, reality is they just don't. So we have to be careful to give the right signals, and it's okay to be nice, don't get me wrong. But often, one more time, don't be nice just to be nice, because it's probably going to backfire. Well, I hope you got something good out of this video. If you did, the way to say thank you is just subscribe to our YouTube channel. And when you do, click the bell, because what happens then is YouTube will send you a notification when we upload another video, so you can get even more. That helps us, that helps you. So you're helping us help you help us. Cyclical. Give us a thumbs up, that helps also. If you like the video, if you don't give us a thumbs up. Do you have something to say? Got some feedback? Let's hear it. Start a conversation in the comment section. And if you share this on Facebook, that does help a lot, so you might want to consider doing that as well.